Take your mask off and come walk with me on a journey so you can come see a reflection of what it's gonna be. Dumb it down, now your kid a dummy.
I question if we understand that we all possess a slave mentality. In some ways, at least one thing has us all in chains. It can be money, lust, fame, drugs, ego, alcohol, love, education, materialism, work, and food, amongst many other things. Many of my friends in town were happy to see me back home as I've been away for over 3 years. I'm the type that normally likes to stay to myself and not do much talking, although I have so much to talk about. It often takes me time to analyze my thoughts, which causes a delay in my presence. Plus, we all have to deal with the daily grind of life. My name is Leonard Abbott, but some people know me by Lennox, my stage name. My last name is rooted in the Anglo-Saxon slave owners who captured my ancestors from Africa and enslaved them throughout the eastern shore of Virginia in the southern United States. I even heard we may be some kin to the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott. But looking at the complexion of our skin, that could be far-fetched. However, it's possible he's a descendant of the slave owners who changed my ancestors' name. Really? Really? Yeah. Killing each other. Yeah, I know we banging. I'm from Virginia, where the slaves were hanging. Noose around the neck, the vocal cord is dangling. Can't breathe like Eric Gardner. George Floyd was saying, Lord, this is what I mean, this is what I mean. My 40 acres and the mule is just another dream. Was Nick Cannon lying? Ain't nothing against the Jewish folks, but we ain't blind. Reparations ain't never gave us a dime. It's very clear, we apologize when another race is affected. But when it comes to black folks, it's cool to disrespect it. Like Joel MB, protect the rim, we get rejected. It ain't a race war, it's economics, let's correct it. I went away because I need to find my true purpose in life. Like all of us, I've been torn between good and evil, right and wrong, along with the complexities and abundance of distractions in our world today. These distractions left me confused as to the path I wanted to lead. They say our actions always dictate our direction, and it seemed that my actions at times would be all over the place. So in essence, I was never going anywhere because my direction was all over the place. When I returned, they told me about this pandemic that spread worldwide and damaged many lives. They mentioned something about this country called Russia invading a country called Ukraine and going to war to take back land that they say was theirs. That one made me chuckle. Because if that's the case, invasions will be happening worldwide. After all, at some point, land was stolen from all of us. They also told me about everybody seemingly becoming rich from being unemployed, which was kind of strange. Something about the government giving away money to people and businesses in the form of a PPP and unemployment. I'm not quite sure what that really means, but today I'm hearing some people took advantage of it in the wrong way and now facing consequences of time behind bars for doing so. So much for thinking you'll get something free without giving something back in return.
Don't be a slave, cotton fields. Don't be a slave to the system.
Applied sanctions on countries with skin that's darker. Africa, Asia, Middle East, Caribbean charters. European colonization took over the nations. Ain't nobody come to our rescue, and that's true. Only way we can get money is if they can profit. Federal reserves made their own dollar. Fake currency to barter. Bad then we swallow. Defecated out, then bad again tomorrow. It's simple science and logic. Ghettos turn to the projects, poke the belly of the beast and turn it into Sodom, Gomorrah, the horror, Quran, Bible, and Torah. Hip hop they say dumbed down, so we don't borrow. Upon my return, I assumed there would be some better changes, but it seems worse than when I left. I learned of two white men, Donald and Joe, who constantly fought each other. This surprised me as I've never seen two wealthy white men fight publicly. One is currently the president and the other used to be the president and wants his position back. They're supposed to decide on this dispute going into the next year. My neighbor said that the one named Donald will win because he screamed the loudest, so we'll have to see who will come out on top. It should be interesting. My mother had been saving for years to buy a new home, but they have this thing called interest rates, which makes it tougher to afford stuff if it goes up. Plus, the other day we went into town to grocery shop, and to our surprise, a loaf of bread and eggs almost emptied our savings because the price was so high. So it looks like we'll never see a new home.
Don't be a slave. Cotton fields. Don't be a slave to this system.
Give us a little bit to take back even more. The battle is racism, but the war's against the poor. Poor blacks, poor whites, poor Asians, poor Lats. When the poor are the ones who innovate what humans lack. Invasion of privacy, they watching you and me. They claim it's for safety, but it's used for currency. No promotion of education, community, or religion. Just viral videos and people in compromised positions. I'll admit, I understand this may never spread, cause when the truth is alive, they want the truth dead. So at the end of the day, we all slaves, they'll kill. My advice, find some shade when you in the cotton field. We also got news from relatives in New York and Chicago complaining about their cities being overtaken by migrants who were allowed to enter the country without proper clearance. They say a wall was supposed to be built to protect the borders, but immigrants were put on buses and shipped to these cities in exchange for millions of dollars from the government to take them in. Now, the government officials from these cities are complaining. They probably should have thought of a better plan before agreeing to take the money. So it sounded like it could get bad for those folks in the city. Oh yeah, my papa was reading the papers the other day and read that there was another war between the Israelis and Palestinians over what? You guessed it, land. This land they're fighting over is sacred. I even read about it in the Bible. However, there seems to be a back and forth between these groups called Jews and Muslims who are claiming this holy land. Sadly, this continues, and innocent people must die every day over something that was here before and will be here after we all perish. I hope to one day come to grips with this world that seems to never relinquish its chains from all of us. The only conclusion I can muster is that at the end of the day, we are all enslaved people in this cotton field called life. So, say your prayers and find your direction that will lead you on a purposeful journey.
Don't be a slave. Cotton fields. Don't be a slave to this system.
The water.